Hey guys, in this video I want to study from A to Z the whole case study of scaling brand new dropshipping store from zero. You can see here like there were no sales at all. I mean $300 a month in February here, but here is basically we scaled it to over $1 million per month. So overall it has generated over 8 figures in sales. Let me just refresh this for you guys, and this is what I want to show you. I want to show you exactly how we did it. From initial high-level thinking. And guys, I mean, this video will probably be most applicable to people who are already doing some numbers, you know, at least like $1,000, a few $1,000s a day, because a lot of the ideas, a lot of these things are more like higher level. But I think everyone will benefit from this video. So let's just dive right into it. So from 0 to 8 figures in 12 months, scaling Facebook ads. And this is dropshipping store, by the way. So dropshipping, but I'll tell you the major adjustments that we have made to make it consistent, right? Not a lot of people, I mean, you can see some YouTubers like on YouTube, they do like $100,000 with a product and then they get their ad account shut down, or like they have their business manager shut down, or they have their whole business goes down, or they PayPal or Stripe. All of that is nonsense, right? Because you don't want to build a business that is, you know, so vulnerable to all of those suggestions. I want to show you exactly how to build something that is, even if you dropship, but it's decent customer experience, so you don't have those issues. Strategy, right? So overall strategy here is, guys, it's basically the niche stores that are scaled from one product to several products, and additional to that, there's like certain funnels that I want to show you. And by the way, guys, if you want the funnel template, just comment funnel below and we'll send it to you. Just comment the funnel below and I'll send you the funnel template that we have used to scale this store, that helped us tremendously to scale this store. So I want to show you the overall strategy. Overall, when researching, overall when looking for products, overall when looking for the ideas on what to sell, you know, a lot of people would just like, hey, what other people are drop shipping, right? And I mean, that's nothing wrong with that. And they just copy or tweak it or maybe put some spin on it. For me, I like to be more kind of like non-standard. I don't like to go like where everyone goes. So where I go oftentimes is Inc. 500 or Inc. 5000. So this is Inc. 5000 list. The reason why this is awesome, because these are all like real companies that have grown substantially, right? So there is a percentage of growth that these companies have experienced, right? So it shows you that there is a particular like growth that is available to the certain niche, right? There's certain industries. So for example, like this company, right? So this company is, it's called Sassy Jones, right? And this company is selling the products, right? So their target market is, so if you look at on Inc. 5000 here, it says focus on its target market of Black women, which is awesome, right? So pretty much they're selling probably the same products or very similar products that you could find, you know, in other places, but their marketing and everything is specifically aligned with Black ladies. And so that just gives you so much perspective, right? Because anyone can sell something, right? But if you take something that's already selling, right? Whether it's dropshipping, whether it's a brand, you know there's demand, you know there's validation, but you just put that twist on it, right? Like, hey, all of these guys are selling to everyone, and we will now be just selling to, let's say, you know, so these guys are Black ladies, right? Or we will be selling it to only like single moms, or we'll be selling it only to guys who live in big cities, right? So you identify that niche market, and that allows your marketing to be overall like more precise, right? Because your messaging can be now more precise. If you have like more generic approach, which a lot of people do, if it hits, it hits, right? It's awesome if it hits. But if it doesn't, then you just like, you don't know what worked, what didn't, right? Because we're going too broad. And so our approach is going more niche, right? Identifying the specific segment of the market that we want to go after, right? And this is like, it's like business one-on-one, right? Like it's you know, for example, even PayPal initially, right, as a business. Now it's humongous fucking business serving everyone. But at the beginning, it was a business that was serving the eBay sellers, right? They were trying all kind of stuff. They're trying all kind of like, let me just show you guys. He basically explains how the PayPal right? Initially, it was like all over the place. It was like, for everyone, right? But then they just like, you can see in November 1999, our customer service rep forwarded me an email from eBay Power Seller. The eBay seller had turned the PayPal logo into a nice looking button for her auctions and was asking our permission to use it. Ironically, I was forwarded the message not for the product use, but was temporarily handling company legal affairs, stuff like that basically. Anyway, they just like figured out that, hey, what if, you can see like they just decided, what if like there's a market, right? They validated like was this market of power sellers, people who were doing good numbers on eBay, right? That they just started using PayPal. They just focused on that market. What if we get like initially, like you can see they had like initially 10,000 users, but then by the end of January 20,000, they hit 100,000 users. Just focus on that one segment. Again, a lot of people, they just like focus on a lot of different things, and they're trying to like to appeal to everyone. They try to appeal to this market, trying to appeal to this market. And our approach is more niche, and that's why I think this is successful. And this is a approach that we have. This is just one of our stores, but this is a approach that we have in each and every one of our stores. And those are doing 7-8 figures per year. So if you want to build like 7 or 8 figure consistent business, then one of the probably adjustment that you have to make is that you have to identify the niche that you want to go after, right? So this is what I would recommend, guys. We sell plenty of different products. So some products $25, some product $100. All of them have good margins. So margins are from 60 to 82%. On average, the AOV is like 40 plus dollars, which is not the best, but overall profitability is approximately 30%. So that's pretty good. It solves a wide problem. Skincare, right? But niche approach. Again, niche approach. We identified the segment of the market that was specifically looking for the solution. So the validated demand, we just took it more niche, and you can just take it more niche, right? If you have the validated demand in a certain market, or you add your spin to it. Okay, this is only for like, this is, let's say this is tacos, like the first like organic tacos, right? The first like organically made, I don't know, sunglasses, right? Sunglasses made from like recycled, I don't know, unicorns, whatever, like just identifying that one thing, that how your product, at the end of the day, it's how your product differentiates from other products in the marketplace. Because you're not, you and me and like no one is existing in this kind of like vacuum, right? We are all existing in the market where there's a lot of competition, there are a lot of different things going on at any given point. And if we just do exactly the same thing that everyone else, it will be just like not visible, right? So this is what I would recommend, guys. So once we've had the first product introduced, other products were designed for upselling. So this is another important thing, is that a lot of people, there's this concept one product store, which is awesome. A lot of people are fucking destroying the wizard concept, right? And they're doing very well. Some people scale to 6, 7 figures, but very rarely that you will scale one product to 8 figures. Very, very rarely, right? So you have to introduce other products. It has to be like a niche store, right? So you have one product, okay, that's awesome, but then like another product could be relevant that increases your margins, another product. That's why we have range of products 25 to 140, some more expensive, some cheaper, right? And so this is what I would recommend for you guys. So renamed, branded, I mean that's a must, so you can compare it to other products. Modified products as well. So once you have the product, once you have the proof of concept with the product, then, and you have some capital as well, then you can modify a product, right? So for example, you get a lot of complaints from customers, hey, I mean this thing just like tears apart like after like 10 uses, right? Can you fix it? Yes, we can, right? So then you basically fix it, and then you make your product different from everything else in the market. Then you can use that message in your market that this is new version of the product, or this product is improved. This is nothing like, there's nothing like that in the market. So overall approach is get fucked, right? I'll explain in a second. So we take with every single store, with every single business that we have, we take get fucked approach, which means just identifying where you can get fucked, as a entrepreneur, as a drop shipper, if you're drop shipping or whatever, as an entrepreneur, because even if you have like very like custom product brand shipping very fast, you can still get fucked, right? It's so Our approach is to have multiple processing options, right? So at any given point, something happens with one, we can quickly replace to another one. The same with team building. So we are building the internal procedures. So in case something happens to one person, then we can transition to another person. The same goes with suppliers. So we work with multiple suppliers. If something happens to one supplier, we can quickly replace it with another supplier. So this is basically that approach, and obviously with ad accounts, guys. And if you're looking to build the infrastructure of ad accounts, because we haven't scaled all of this through like one ad account, we always want to be on the safer side, because ad accounts get shut down, business managers get shut down. So you guys just, if you are looking for help with streamlining that and just putting the infrastructure of the ad accounts in place, there should be a link below. Just book a call with my team and we'll see how to help you out. This is, this is just too valuable to give away for free, that whole solution, but we'll see how we can help you out. Maybe we can share the exact framework so you can copy paste it into your business. Wow fact, so instant effect from the product. We want to sell the product there. Ideally, the people that use the product, they should see the effects immediately. That's not always possible, but this is ideally what we're looking for. So this is overall like strategy, high level overview. Again, you can see product market fit, identifying that segment of the market that would want to buy your product. So this is another one. So if we go through Inc. 5000 link, which is very interesting. This company is a lot of you guys will probably recognize, right? Because this company is Microderm GLO, right? Now, that should probably remind you something, right? That should probably remind you the poor vacuum cleaner that every single dropshipper was selling, right? Now, these people have taken this a little bit just farther, right? They invested something in the product development. The product is slightly different. Probably can be sourced on Alibaba as it looks here. $89, tremendous fucking margins, not $29, not $20, right? But very good margins here. And also they selling some, you can see the creams and serums and stuff like this, which also it looks like the product can be stored. They just put their logo on it and they sell it. Nevertheless, the company is now producing pretty good volume. Doesn't say the revenue here, but it says they have 4,000% growth in the last. This is quite substantial growth. So it doesn't say what revenue numbers, but definitely it's like a 7-figure business. Inc. 5000 now has a minimal requirement of $2 million, I guess, to get just to get on the list. So these are all 7-figure companies that have identified their niche and just digging, getting more momentum within that niche. So this is, guys, I consider that the best approach to overall building the business, because if you go into very humongous markets and you don't have differentiation strategy, then you would just most likely get destroyed unless you have the lowest price point. So price point could be your advantage, right, in those massive markets. Here we're back, right? So basically, get fucked. That approach is you identify the things where things can go wrong, right? And a lot of you, if you've done 6-7 figures doing drop shipping or any other business, you probably know what can go wrong. Your ad accounts, your business managers, your processing, all of those things, right? So you want to make sure that you have those in place. So store and funnel, guys, we use these cascade teams. So a lot of people obsess about the team, what team are you using. I know people that have done 8 figures utilizing free Shopify teams like Brooklyn and Debut. So it doesn't matter that much. What matters is more how you structure everything. Do you provide your potential customers enough information to make a purchase decision? And so Cascade is a pretty good team with good support. You can see have very good reviews. They don't know that I'm promoting it. I'm not promoting it because they paid me or I get incentivized in any way, but just because it's a good team that I would recommend for you guys, and their support is pretty good. Urgency and timers we use pretty extensively, I would say. People say that it's spammy, but it works. Giving people some incentive, giving people some reason to act now works. So even if it's spammy, but it's more efficient, I would recommend you guys use it. So obviously test it out. Trust badges is same as with trust badges, right? Even if it's spammy, if it looks spammy, but if it works, that's the most important thing in business, right? We have all of our opinions, what works and what doesn't, and that's typically what kills businesses, right? Because, this works, we need to do it. But it doesn't work, it doesn't sell. anyway, you know, it must sell. I like this product, then people must like it, right? So that's how a lot of entrepreneurs approach it. We got a lot of ideas from Pack and Mass. So this is the website created by Oliver from Landing Page Guys. These guys are awesome. They have like a very, you know, in terms of the conversion, like trying people to making that decision. You can see also incentivizing people to add more products to the cart. So pushing both like AOV and the conversion rate up. A lot of you just see different avatars here. You can see like young lady, young man, older lady. There's another professional here, probably two ladies. And so kind of like covering different avatars, like in the context, how different people are using the product. So we found that also to be working very well, kind of like covering all of these different avatars that we want to cover. So free gift with every purchase. So Oliver has here, it's also the free red mask with every order over 20 pounds, which is awesome. So pushing that average order value up. Influencer made photos in product description. So products in the context, right? Like showing how the product is actually used, showing how the product actually is, you know, in the context of use. That's very, very helpful for the conversion. You just see throughout the website, in-cart upsell and vitals upsells, right? So in-cart upsell would appear once you add product to the cart. So here it would appear. So it's good. It's very like simple. We have also reconvert, and we have, because the better cart is a solution that we use for this one specifically. So this is basically how we structure the upsell process. There are 3 upsells. We're trying to get 15% bump in average order value from the upsells, right? So after someone purchasing, we have 3 upsells, and our goal is to get them to 15%. So if we can get that we have that bump in profitability that we can use to profitably scale with ads. So this is, you know, in short, like the store and funnel. You can see there's nothing complex about it. It's more, a lot of these things are common sense, right? And probably there are different approaches. I mean, our conversion rate is only like 3%. I know people that are doing like 5, 7%, 8%. We manage somehow to, you know, to be profitable with 3%. So that's the most important thing that we can have. So Facebook ads testing phase. Let me show you guys inside of the ad account. This is the data, one of the ad accounts. Again, we use this approach where we diversify through different ad accounts. So let me just refresh this for a second. Still have access to the ad account. And so you can see here, so we spent $88,000 in this particular ad account and generated 240, which is pretty good. 4.97 click-through rate link, close to 3%, which is ideally where we want to be. It's not the most important thing, but this is where we are trying to be, you know, in terms of numbers, right? So this is numbers in the last 30 days with this particular ad account. We diversified through different ad accounts. We never want to be dependent just on one ad account, because if it goes down, then the whole business goes down, right? And we don't want that. That's how we achieve that more, you know, predictability, and we achieve that more of the consistency and peace of mind while we are scaling up. So we started initially with like wide interest, testing, skincare, health and fitness, celebrities in the niche, targeting those interests, metrics on ads versus funnel side. So first ads and then funnel. We want to see whether the ads resonate with the audience. So click-through rate needs to be decent, right? So once we achieve like decent click-through rate, ideally about 3% click-through rate link unique, then we look at the funnel, like whether people add to cart, whether people just comment cheat sheet or comment KPI guys below, so I can share with you the KPI cheat sheet that we use to optimize and specific metrics that we use to optimize throughout the whole funnel. So we look at the metrics on the ad sides. On the ad side, for example, the click-through rate, the cost per click, you know, those, like if we have $5 cost per click, then probably something is off. If we have like 0.01% click-through rate link unique, then probably something is off on the ad side. So make sure we sort the ads first, make sure that the content on ads is actually good, and then we get into the funnel, right? So we tested 4 angles to start. We always use this approach where we're utilizing 4 to 5 angles to start. And we're using stats and just common sense, you know, what kind of like angles people would resonate with. We do a lot of competitive research on Amazon, what angles and what specific problems product can solve for people that would would actually matter to them that we can use in the ads. And so I have this video, like 7 different angles that you can check, 7 angles that I presented for like 3,000 people in Affiliate World Asia conference. So you guys can find it on my YouTube channel, by the way. So once found the angle that was resonating, we tested 15 creatives, and what worked for us in this case, like UGC, like in the face content, utilizing attractive people, showing the product, avatar related photos, testimonials addressing difference from competition. For example, I've tried this and this, but this is by far the best solution, right? Because probably a portion of the people that will buy from you will be people who've tried different things. So if you're like in skincare, probably they've tried like all of the fucking brands. They tried like all of the different devices, right? They've tried different things. And so now if you talk to that market, then you have to say that your solution is best. But if you say it in your words, it's not as effective as saying it from customer words. So if you have testimonials of customers saying, hey, this product is actually better than these other products that we have tried, then that should work very well for your market. And with winning angles, we've tested hundreds of variations of content. I'll cover, or you should find on my channel, specifically about the content, how we structure the content production in our business. You can find it in my YouTube videos. So ads testing process, right? So straight from day one, optimization for purchase. People do this like PPE, people do this like add to cart, people do initial checkout. This is all garbage. I mean, this will give you like low quality traffic. So we always do the safe ads on the side as well. So those are PPE, likes, and reach, like a few dollars a day, but this helps a lot with generating engagement and positive engagement, especially if you're like skincare, beauty, weight loss, especially if you're in those niches. So once we found the winning ad, we tested it with 10 more wide interest to find more winning audiences and get initial scale, right? So you can scale to some extent with one winning ad. This is what a lot of people do. I like to expand that like one winning ad as much as possible, but at the same time continue testing, right? So on any given week, we would test like 10 different creatives, right? We test 10 different creatives to get this like more momentum and to get more reach to the audiences that we have, and also to just to scale that initial momentum. So then send second best performing ad through the same process. So we scale those and we're adding those into the ad sets that have performed very well, right? So this way we have multiple ads running against the same audiences, right? But then we let Facebook figure it out, and find out what's actually working the best. My winning video ad framework. So product demo by 3 influencers compiled into fast rolling intro. That's approximately like 10 seconds. Let me show you examples, guys. So here, right? Like for example, this is very fast, right? Like demonstration of the product, right? You can do it with one person. You can see multiple persons are in here, right? So this is the approach that also works for us. So this is another person here. This is another person here, like step by step, right? So another person here, right? So compilation of the testimonials, compilations of the UGC, right? So this is the framework that works amazingly for this company. It seems like they have like very big team here and they're scaling hard, and the same approach has worked well for us. So captions, right? So you've seen like in these videos as well, like captions to describe the problem and solution the product provides. You can use Rev.com, or you can do it like manually. After influencers, we typically switch to the main demonstrations video using YouTube videos and our own footage with the main benefit text, like how to use the product. You can see here as well how they do it. Basically, they explain how the product works.
Breakage in my hair.
Right, so you can see the text, right? Because a lot of people are not watching with sound, right? So this actually helps a lot with the, kind of like explanation, getting the benefits explained. Aim for above average engagement, conversion, and quality. Otherwise, it won't work on a scale. Let me show you guys. So you can see here, for example, some of the ads here, right? I mean, not average, like it just loads forever because there's so much data, but you can see average, above average, average, above average, right? Like most of them are average or above average. This is what's very important to keep in mind for you guys so you are able to scale profitably, right? Some of them are like below average, but like a lot of them, and they are specifically that perform very well, they're like average or above average. This is what you need to have in place in order to get consistent results. So scaling Facebook ads, so winning interest and lookalike assets have been duplicated into CBOs. CBOs we keep very simple. They have 3 to 5 assets, sometimes even 1. We optimize and kill low performance. We give them like 1x, 2x max CPA. Scaling with broad audiences as well. Zero targeting whatsoever. Like it's just age, gender, country. Use filtering on Facebook page to reduce number of bad comments. A list is below, guys. For example, if you want to get that list, then just copy it from there should be a link below. We used automated rules and team to control the ad spend and kill unprofitable ads. Now, this stuff, like, I haven't run myself. Like, the ads and everything, like, I haven't run myself. I observed, I give my team feedback, but that was all done by my team. You know, I'm just communicating everything that we have done so far, but I haven't been, you know, like, tweaking the ads and stuff. That has been my team, and they're amazing. So that helped to maintain ROAS, right? The way I think about it, you know, it's basically, if you have, for example, right, so you have on Facebook, right, that's why a lot of people are not profitable. So on Facebook, you always have good ads and you have bad ads, right? You have good ads and bad ads. You have good campaigns, bad campaigns, right? So your profitability, right, your profitability will depend on how, not only like whether you find the winning ads, winning angles, winning creatives, but also whether you shut down the stuff that is not good. Right, so if you let like your bad ads run and overspend, then your overall like profitability will be hurt, right? Like, so this is what's very important to keep in mind. So you have to establish clear KPIs and be like number driven. Like a lot of people would do is like, hey, I have this like ad and I like it, and we just like custom ad, and it's like, and we paid for it and it should work properly, but then it doesn't work. And sometimes it doesn't work. You know, sometimes you spend money on content. We pay people, we pay influencers, we pay, you know, studios to create like custom content. It doesn't work. So you have to be very like numbers driven, right? Because if you don't have like clear KPIs, like when to shut down. Okay, so if you don't get sales like till this point, you shut it down, right? If you don't get, let's say, add to carts like till this point, you shut it down. If your like cost per link click is like $7, you shut it down. So you have to have those clear KPIs on when to shut down your stuff if it's not good. So that's what helps tremendously with scaling, right? So we scaled mostly horizontally, but testing new interest, lookalikes, and combinations with high budgets, $300 per campaign or ad set. So that's ideally where I want to be. Want to have as little number of campaigns and as little number of ad sets as possible, and just like have Facebook work with higher budgets. High budgets allow you for more consistency. A lot of people say like, hey, my Facebook ads performance is fluctuating, or my ads are not consistent. 90% of times it's because your budgets are just too low, right? So the way it works, like you would need to have, I guess Facebook wants like 50 conversions per week, right? So it means like 7 conversions approximately per day, right? So let's say if your target CPA is, let's say $20, right? So then your budget would need to be at least like 7 multiplied by 20. It's like $100 a day. A lot of people would run like $10 ad set, and then they would say, hey, why my stuff is not consistent? Because it just doesn't have enough data, right? And someone like, let's say you have like $10 per ad set, and I have, let's say, $200 per ad set. I'll just trump you in the auctions, right? I'll just like, I can like have very similar ads, very similar performance on my ad side, but then Facebook looks at me and say, hey, this guy is like willing to spend some money, and this guy is just very conservative. Let's just like give more traffic to this guy because he'll spend more money, he'll get more customers, and more likely he'll spend even more money with us, right? And he'll be like, you know, he will drive our stock fucking up, you know, even higher. So because we generate so much revenue from the advertisers. So this is what's important to keep in mind, guys. You know, and a lot of this, like a lot of the content on YouTube here is like very fucking delusional, right? These people would teach you to do like $5 ad sets. $5 ad sets is like, I mean, you can test something, of course, but like it's not scalable. How on earth like can you scale with $5 ad sets? There are people saying you're duplicating like 100 times, you're winning like $5 ad sets. This is garbage. This will get your ad account shut down and your profile disabled from the advertising, right? And especially with ad limitations, 250 ads per ad account, like that won't do any good for you, right? So make sure you constantly, as you scale, you try to work with higher and higher budgets, right? Now, there is like common sense in this, right? Because ideally you would want to have let's say you want to spend like $5,000 a day, then you would just have like 5 ad sets at like $1,000, and that would be perfect setup. I love it. Hey guys, people have been asking me how we scale to multiple 6 figures or even 7 figures per month without getting shut down on Facebook, and we have a very sophisticated solution for this that I want to share with you, but it's just like too valuable to give away for free. So if you guys want this solution, just book a call with one of my team members and we'll show you exactly what it is and how it works, and we'll see if that's a good fit for you and for your business. So just book a call with my team member. We'll share it with you so you can scale your business to multiple 6 figures or even 7 figures per month without getting shut down on Facebook, without having inconsistency, and with high profitability. So just book a call with my team and I'll see you there. I would love this setup. I would love like one ad set at like $5,000 a day, one campaign, one ad set, and then one ad, and just like go and sit on the beach. But that's not how it works, right? Because different accounts perform differently. So you would want to find the sweet spot. So for example, you test something like even with lower budgets, all right? So let's say $10-20, then you test new interest, let's say with $50, and it works well. Okay, so now you start with 50 as your initial starting point. Then you try like 100, right? Then you might try like 150 or 200. And so gradually get to the point where your overall structure of the account is very simple. And this is what I would recommend for you guys to kind of like that direction. I would recommend you guys to move in, right? Obviously, all of those things lay on a very good foundation and good strategy. Again, how you're competing with other people, what's your competitive advantage, what's your niche market, what's your segment of the market that you want to penetrate, and that specifically will be where all of these like technical details will be built out on. So, scaled mostly horizontally by testing new interest lookalikes and combinations of high budgets. I'd probably shoot like this separate video on like maybe like very specific like percentages of the lookalikes that we've used in broad audiences, but broad is, it doesn't have any like settings, so it's pretty simple. 300 per campaign per asset, right? Like so this per campaign or per asset, right? Depending whether it's like CBO or ABO. So the key to scaling is creatives. I keep repeating that because this is just so important, and I still see a lot of people are not taking advantage of it, right? So keep your video editor, whether you have him full-time or you have him in like part-time, you found him on Upwork, on Fiverr, whatever. You want to keep testing new variations of ads. So thumbnails in first 5 seconds are the easiest wins. Invest 10-20% of your profit into getting new creative. Right, so let's say you make like $100,000 per month in profit. Invest like $10,000-$20,000 in content. Invest at least like $5,000 in content. That's the best investment you can make once you find a winner, because $1 that you invest into creative will easily give you like $10 or even $100 back if you're scaling. If that content is a winner, it will be generating you a lot of a positive return. Kill losers that are below your break-even point, assets within ABOs and CBOs, and duplicate winners. So duplicate, I found duplication works with more like bigger audiences, right? Because if your audiences are very small, let's say audience like 2 million people, and then you duplicate, then there'll be a lot of overlap. So duplication works the best if your audience is like 30-50 million people, which is more likely the case if you're going broad with no targeting at all. So team building, right? Hiring VAs and help. You would need like a VAs is probably the first step, right? But we had like more comprehensive team here. Online jobs, PH and Upwork.com. Only hiring people with experience, so don't have to train them a lot, or at least people that have some of the positions we train from scratch in our company. But a lot of the things like video editing, you cannot train someone like video editing like fast, right? So that's why you would hire people with experience who already know what they need to know to help you out to scale your business. Working with multiple agents China for all fulfillment purposes, shipping from US as well. We have support team members. So for example, if we have a question from a customer, we respond very fast to all of the tickets. This is very important factor that a lot of people neglect. So if you will just build like an hierarchy, right? Like, let me just like build an hierarchy here. Support, right? So there are a few moving parts here. A few moving parts that you need to be in place, and if you want to scale like consistent business. Again, like we're not talking about like 6 figures, like we're not talking about like 7 figures. We're talking about like building 8-figure business, consistent business that you can scale like months over months, year over year, and then eventually you could sell it, right? So this is a business that you want to build. So few moving parts, right? Support, right? Like make sure that you support, like you answering your support tickets, right? That's why you would have in terms of your team members, you would need to have support team, and you would want to monitor them and see how they respond to customers. If they're not rude, if they're they're responding to customers politely, if they're responding fast, right? So this make sure that this part is handled probably before anything else, right? Then overall like team video editing, so that's on the marketing side. You would want to hire someone like part-time, right, or by project, and then eventually you want to move them into full-time, right? So for example, we have full-time video editors that help us with editing the content for the ads, and then we also source from some external sources. Then media buyer, right? So media buyer would be the person who's managing the ads but also overseeing the whole process. Pretty much they'll become like a project manager eventually, because they'll be overseeing the video editor, they'll be overseeing the copywriter, they'll be overseeing the designer, right? They'll be overseeing the technical person. Like if website doesn't convert, then media buyer would say, hey, let's fix this, this, and this on the website. Let's test this concept, right? So they'll be overseeing, and all of these people who start per project, right? If they're good, you would wanna get them full time, right? So we have all these people, full time. If you need this type of like talent, then you would want to, like, again, start by project. And then as you start generating profit from your business, just reinvest it back into the talent, reinvest it back into the content, reinvest it to the things that produce the best outcome. Don't spend it on expensive fucking cars. That's what a lot of people do, but I know you won't do it. So that's awesome. Anyway, so this is basically the structure of the team. Obviously there is the accounting. So you want to have your bookkeeping, because paying suppliers, making sure that all of the invoices are matching, making sure that all of the orders, they don't overcharge you. With suppliers, it happens sometimes, they'll overcharge you by mistake or not by mistake, so you'd want to keep an eye on it. And then generally you want to have like chief operating officer, someone who's overseeing the whole operation, seeing how it can be streamlined, make sure that all of the main KPIs are met, that each of the person like knows exactly what to do. And over time you might want to have the hiring assistant, or even like head of HR, right? So that person would be responsible for hiring. Depends how fast you can scale. Like for example, to operate a business like this, you need like maybe like 10 people, like to operate like 8-figure business, right? If it's not very complex business, because if you do like a general store, like where you're testing like 50 products a day or like 100 products a day, then probably you need like a lot of people, right? You can do higher numbers potentially, but your margins also will be slimmer. And so like the concept that we use like niche store, right? Like we identify like certain niche that we go after. We have a limited number of SKUs. We don't overcomplicate stuff. That's why we're able to run it with a very like lean team, right? So once you have one of these teams, then you just build another team like this, right? So like typically like 6 people, that's ideal like size of the team approximately, right? Like 6, 7, like, because if team is like too big, then there's a lot of communication and there's like communication issues and stuff like that. So we prefer to have our teams smaller, right? So now you've built one team, now you can build another team like this, right? And basically that's how you can scale. That's how you can scale to multiple 8 figures a year just by having this very simple setup, right? For example, some of the guys in our e-commerce scaling secrets program, they're doing like $600,000, $800,000 per month, and there's like for example one person, and there's one he has like one virtual assistant, and he's working with his supplier, right? Because his business is very simple. He is able to do $600,000, $800,000 per month in sales with like 25-30% profit, because he is able to. His model is so simple, right? So this is basically the structure for the team that we have, that you can take something from and you can replicate it on your side. So guys, this is it. This is case study from 0 to 8 figures in 12 months. And I showed you some of the Facebook stuff, I showed you some of the logistics, I showed you some of the mindset, how we think, so you can replicate it on your side. If you're doing like 6-7 figures in sales, you want to take it to 8 figures and you feel stuck and you need some feedback, you need some mentorship, then there should be a link below. Apply for our mentorship program. This is by far, we have by far the best community of like 6, 7, 8 figure entrepreneurs that if you're just like in an environment, you will learn so much and you will scale so fast that I don't think there's like any other way. For me personally, I always use like, who can I learn from so I can get from point A to point B in the most efficient manner. So, but that's only for people who are already doing numbers. This is not for people who are starting out, right? If you're just starting out, use this video to just get initial momentum. If you have any questions, drop me them in the comments, and join also one of our Facebook groups that we have, so we can help you out there. And thank you for watching, I appreciate it. And let me know what you think in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. Again, if you're looking for help scaling your e-commerce business or putting the infrastructure of the ad accounts in place so you do not depend on banned ad accounts or face feedback score and stuff like that, then there should be a link below. Apply for a call with our team and we'll see how we can help you out to scale your business to the next level. So this is it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.